So I'm just going to start off with, I don't know how many of you have read it. The Lovers, Afghanistan's Romeo and Juliet, the true story of how they defied their families and escaped an honor killing. I had tons of questions, but we don't really have time for all of them, so I'm going to just skim them instead and ask Rod, why this story? It's not a unique story in Afghanistan, and certainly the situation of women is not. This is a culture-wide pervasive issue in Afghanistan. Why did this story strike you as a story to write? First for the Times, and then for the book.
Well, the story kind of chose me, and it fell into my lap. But I've been looking for a story like this for a long time. Honor killings are really common, and there's seldom an opportunity to really get much information about them. And this, I could see very early on, was an opportunity to talk to all the protagonists before the killing happened and find out what was in their minds and what their intentions were, maybe by covering it to prevent it happening. And at first, at least, I had access to everybody, the would-be killers as well as the would-be victims. And that's a pretty unique opportunity. We know it happens a lot, but in most cases, honor killings are deeply suppressed by the people in the community and the families where they take place.
Tell us a bit about their story and how you tracked them and how willing were they to share their story with you?
Well, when I met them, they were out of prospects, and the women's activists had introduced me, persuaded them that the only option they had left was to try to get enough public attention and particularly international media attention, and they hoped that would kind of persuade somebody to maybe intervene and get her, at the time she was in a shelter and locked up, and get her out of the shelter and allow them to marry. So they went into it with their eyes open. We spent a lot of time briefing them and explaining to them what would happen when this storm of publicity, because I recognized early on there would be a lot of attention on the story, and that's just what happened, although I didn't really expect quite as big a reaction as we got. And we did try to explain it to them, but it was difficult because they had a hard time conceiving just what that meant. I mean, they had no clue what the internet was even, had never seen a newspaper, had never even actually watched television, and so all of this was pretty new to them.